Hey folks, this is Gig Pata. I'm here to review, as you can tell with my t-shirt, Mission Impossible, the Rogue Nation. This is the fifth film of the series. Each film is practically a standalone film, except that Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol, kind of leads into this new Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. So let me go ahead and start by saying that once again, Tom Cruise is here for the fifth time, and every single time he does a Mission Impossible movie, he just wants to do crazier and crazier and crazier stunts. And you know what? He succeeds. This entire movie is a heart-pounding movie throughout the entire film, starting with the very, very first scene that you've probably seen in a commercial, where Ethan Hunt is on a side of an A400 airplane, trying to hang on to for dear life in that case. And all of these stunts are real by Tom Cruise, who obviously paid off the insurance company, paid for his own insurance somehow. And all of these stunts are basically very exciting, on the edge of your seat, all the way through from that airplane scene to the car chase scene in Morocco, where Tom Cruise is driving a vehicle with his I don't want to say sidekick, but his cohort Ben, who's played by Simon Pegg, who's screaming the whole time because that car chase scene with the motorcycles are real. And there's even a motorcycle chase scene through the highway into Atlas Mountains in outside of Casablanca, Morocco. There are very cool stunts in Vienna, cool stunts in London. Basically, throughout the entire movie, from start to finish, there was no pause of action. So if you are an action freak and you love these things, I suggest you to take a pee break before the movie actually starts, and you're going to have to hold on throughout the entire movie. So the storyline is very simple, though. Basically, in this case, what we have is a new CIA director, Alan Hunley, played by Alec Baldwin, who is terrific in this film for a supporting character, who wanted the so-called IMF, the Impossible Mission Force, to be defunded, because why else? We already have the CIA, and not to mention that the IMF has been destroying places all around the world and so on. So then simply it takes Jeremy Renner, who was the director of the IMF, who couldn't really defend it, and Ethan Hunt ends up being sort of like a rogue spy, trying to hunt down this rogue nation called the Syndicate, who has this elaborate scheme of trying to overthrow countries and so on. Now, I don't want to give out the plot away, but all of this stuff, it's all centered around a sort of like a secret agent, double agent, triple agent. You don't even know which side she's on. This character named Ilsa Faust, played by Rebecca Ferguson. And for her, she basically puts you on through these different types of plot twists. Like all the Mission Impossible movies, you just keep on guessing throughout the entire movie on which side she's on, who's going on. And the bad guy is played by the bad guy named Lane, who is the head of the Syndicate, played by Sean Harris. He just imagined sort of like a British Steve Jobs in a turtleneck with glasses, who's very conniving and devious. Now, this movie is not a disappointment, not just because of the action, but also because of the plot is terrific. It's just like all the previous movies. It's just like playing chess, where everyone's moving the chess pieces on the board, and you're not even sure who's playing who. Okay, so Director Chris McQuarrie does a really good job of reuniting with Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise, once again, is not a disappointment throughout the entire movie. Now, the one thing I do have to note is Rebecca Ferguson. She is the name to watch for. She basically is a copycat of Ethan Hunt, the female version of Ethan Hunt, throughout the fight scenes, throughout the action scenes, and Rebecca Ferguson through her acting and so on. You're going to hear a lot of her. She basically stole the movie. Okay, she is terrific. A lot of people, after watching this movie, is going to try to figure out who is this girl, and hopefully pretty soon we will see a lot more of her. I also enjoyed the fact that Simon Pegg has a bigger role in this film, because now this time around he is a secret agent himself, and not just playing, a tech geek. Well, he is a lot of tech geek and opening up doors and utilizing cameras and everything, but he does actually have a larger role in this case. And not to mention that, just like the previous movies, there's some really cool gadgets that I wish it had come true for us someday. But anyways, the only couple of disappointments was Ving Rhames basically came in as more of a lesser supporting role in this case, and not to mention that a lot of the parts of this the characters that you would figure that Tom Cruise is trying to set himself aside for Jeremy Renner to take over. Jeremy Renner plays very, very little, or at least the least amount for this movie. Anyways, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is a highly recommended movie. I probably end up not watching it once, but multiple times myself. I thoroughly enjoy it, and it kept my attention, and I was highly entertained from the start all the way to the finish. So, anyways, if you guys have any comments about the movie, about Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, just let me know below, and I will try to answer the best of it. I do also have on my YouTube channel, I have interviews with Rebecca Ferguson and Simon Pegg, which I made last April, and you could also check me out on my articles on LatinoReview.com, or you could also watch me on my TV reviews on KAIL TV channel 53 Fresno at 11:50 a.m. every Fridays. So anyways, that's it, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Peace.